doing this to people without documentation from the police, pictures, something. But the courts is in with it too, because it shouldn't be stopped when you go to court with no evidence.
They're making up blatant lies to get you out.
Yes.
To get a higher rent.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it seems like.
And that's what we need to stop. I mean, like I said, it's a group of us, but we need more backing. And I already spoke to my Republican Party, is that they have to be more front-centered to show the people that
What about
we
your city
give the
council
help.
member?
Yeah, New York City for change. NYC.
You've got a local government selling out its own community.
Amen.
And you know what's interesting about this is you have, you know, the engine of the people voting for de Blasio and Obama are young, professional, hipster, white voters that claim to be so progressive and so caring, you know, for people of color and working class people, and you know, they're going to change the world, and yet these are the same people that are moving into the neighborhoods and making all the rents go sky high and just killing the neighborhood, you know. So it's funny that they claim that they want to help everybody, and they come in and just change the whole character of a neighborhood like that.
And when you try to
it's
get on the
ironic that
community board.
these are the people that claim to be progressive and helpful. And they're the very ones coming in sort of
Phoning it for us.
Yeah, and they don't want us on the community board.
No,
I've been shot down twice.
And then you've got issues where it's clear outright corruption.
Yes.
Where lies are being said about you, things like this is part of the course. And the truth is, you have to have representation. And that starts at the grassroots level. I'll tell you what, if it were our office, we wouldn't tolerate that in a heartbeat. You know, and I will say this about Bay Ridge and Dyker Heights. You know, we argue with the left and the right with my counterparts, but I remarked to one person not too long ago. We said, you know, we go to all these damn things. Every group, and I mentioned 20 of them that I'm involved in. Bravo Ambulance, this, that. But that's what makes a great neighborhood.
But I'm
And
gonna
people
keep fighting
care.
though.
And
Get on
they
that
wouldn't
community
tolerate
board.
that. And you know what, I think that, look, the answer is you right now running for office and making an issue. I'll say this too. I'd love to come down there. Like I said, we don't represent the area, but if I could put some of my activism skills to use, I'd do it. And any kind of the government help I can give you, I'll give to you. There are some good non-for-profits that we deal with as well in our office. You call me and I'll give you Brooklyn Housing Services is one of them. They're good. They're not affiliated with the government, but they provide good advice for people, and it's completely privately run.
I got yours free down.
Yeah, you got it. Call me up, you know? But that's the answer. Yep.
Good job. All right.
Thank you.
I will say to the
One president.
One very important point. Okay, now I hear your objection to these illegal conversions, the woman gentrification, rents are getting high. But you see, the fundamental problem is that people want to live in New York, the greatest city in the world, as Lenin would say. You have all this demand, but supply is kept low for various reasons. You know, landlords want to keep the supply low because they can charge high rents. But they have all these zoning laws and inclusionary requirements that makes building very expensive. And then not only that, I have friends who are what they call empty nesters. They have these big houses, their kids moved out, but because of zoning, they're not allowed to rent it out. Now, if they can rent it out, they can increase the supply of housing. We need to increase the supply of housing. Now, the city owns a lot of vacant buildings, and they also own NICHEM, these projects. Over the bridge, in the shadow of Police Plaza, Alfred E. Smith Housing, built in the 50s, where land wasn't so cheap, was cheap probably. If you ever go there, you see the buildings spread out because they want to have park space between them. Very inefficient use. And there are no retail stores in the lobby doing that. So this is a tremendous waste. Cities should sell properties like this. People, they could get maybe $500,000 just for the land.
Do we have to have a housing solution? But I just
But
want to say
my
the point
question
about
is,
illegal
what are you going to do to increase that
We
supply?
have laws and we have to follow them. That's the issue with illegal conversions, is that you're making the conditions unsafe.
You missed my point.
But to your
The
point,
supply, you got to increase the supply.
we do, and I will say this in terms of public housing. You know, there was an argument put forth a while ago, many years ago about having people in public housing invest in it and possibly eventually own it. And the argument was that if they could own this public housing, they would have ownership, they would care about it, it would change a lot of the problems that are going on in public housing. And the Democrats were the people that scrapped these ideas. And that might be a solution as well. Go back to the drawing board and sell it, offer it up to some of the people there and reconvert it, maybe turn it into a co-op. That's an idea. And give people ownership of their community, and you might see a lot of things change.
But we've got to increase the supply. You agree we have to increase the supply of housing to meet the demand?
I agree. I do agree.
They've been doing lip service like that, saying, "Oh yeah, we're building X amount of low-income housing." So.
Yeah, but you see,
Blasio
that's
didn't put forth for it.
Right.
He made it high price. He got forth for it.
Right.
Right.
That's right. And then they just say it. They say, and I think that
I'm not running this.
Judicial Watch, I think,
I'm not running this.
put out an article recently about what happened at the Barclays Center. And you can tell me more about it, but the Barclays Center, they used all kinds of deals to get their hands on the property, used eminent domain to kick people out of their property. And look, I believe in the government's right to use eminent domain for hospitals, highways, things like that, an airport, a bridge, but not necessarily a convention center. And now that property was supposed to be used for all types of things. It's not. It's been sold, and I believe Chinese-owned companies are some of the people that have their hands on that property and are now using it for luxury condos and things like that. So it's given tons of tax breaks, tons of help by the primary owner. There you go. Christine is my girlfriend, so two things. She actually helped do the research on that with Judicial Watch. And on another point, in terms of drinking, she's one of the reasons to cleaning up my act. So,
I got a question. Anything going on with the mayoral election? There's not really much discussed about it. I understand that even some Democrats, like Eric Adams, are looking to primary.
Right, that's what I've heard. I've heard that. I mean, I'd love to see a great candidate, on the Republican Party. I've heard we were supposed to have a candidate here today. I've heard a few names. I've heard Marty Golden mentioned. I've heard Katz Matisse mentioned. I've heard Eric Ulrich, the city councilman out in Queens, mentioned. Paul Massey. I've heard all these guys.
With all due respect, with regard to the Republicans, they're all pretty weak.
Right.
With regard to name recognition and the way they could raise funds.
Right.
They're not someone like a Leoni or someone that did a lot of big things.
Right. Well, look, I mean, no one I think has come out. Well, maybe Paul Massey might want to spend his own money. I believe he's a wealthy guy. But the mayor is going to be operating with campaign finance rules. So you could raise a lot of money if you participate in that. They're going to match. They're going to match the money 6-to-1, but no one's really been raising serious money. And if you opt out of that and you just raise the money yourself, you're not subject to those spending caps. You just spend as much as you want. But Bloomberg really raised a lot. He used his own money.
He doesn't have to worry about money.
Right. But I don't see him. I don't see anybody like that.
And he wasn't a Republican, by the way.
Right.
Not that one.
Well, he said so himself.
I mean, the Conservative Party. I always voted the Conservative Party candidate. We never backed.
Stephen Christopher, good friend of a couple of members of the audience here. He got, I believe, 2% of the vote on the conservative line during Bloomberg's legal third run for mayor, and that almost put a stymie in his plans. So it almost, the conservative candidate almost stopped Bloomberg from winning that third term, which he should have never ran.
Joe would have had, what's his name, Green? Please, that would have been.
No,
I think
yeah.
that was
I think that was Thompson.
Thompson.
But it would have been another thing considered.
What we do, we need people to step up for mayor. So
Well, Curtis is said he's going to run a public
I heard
line.
that
He'd be another
Curtis was another
disaster.
one.
Really? You want to run?
you want to run for mayor?
Anyone else got anybody that want to run for mayor?
You need money, you need the way to raise money.
Democrat
A way to raise money and name recognition.
Right.
He is?
Right. No.
Don Peoples is a very influential black businessman in New York that may take on de Blasio on the
Oh, de Blasio go
Democratic side.
primary.
Democratic side.
Yeah, because especially on the school choice issue, and it affects poor minorities, and
Isn't he also under investigation, de Blasio, for fraud?
yeah.
There's a possibility he may not even be able to run.
Is there any other questions?
Any other questions of Menachem? You had one more?
I missed
I
it.
believe that.
Which district is this?
What's that?
How do you
Which
get
district?
involved in the campaign and which district is it?
I would, like I said, I'm going to be very active in Dan Donovan's campaign in Brooklyn. Donovan he's the only Republican member of the city, the New York City Republican Congressman. So he represents all of Staten Island and then southwest portions of Brooklyn. So the district encompasses all of Bay Ridge, all of Dyker Heights, parts of Bensonhurst, Bath Beach, parts of Gravesend, into Homecrest, and it kind of hooks up a little bit of Sheepshead Bay, maybe a little bit into Midwood, sort of like Avenue P down to East 17. So, but look, I mean, even if you don't live in the district, come and help us out. Get involved in the campaign.
The U.S. Congressman.
He's a U.S. Congressman. It's gonna be a fun campaign.
What's the state of the race right now?
What's that?
What's the state of the race right now?
It's getting heated. It's just getting really kind of, I think, started up. There's going to be some debates in the end of the month, maybe October. There's a lot of street activity. So if they just open up their campaign,
Debates come when, and we'll put them on the website.
okay. Well, who's the runner? Richard Ricard.
Background on
He's a local Democratic activist from Staten Island. So
Is it higher percentage in Staten Island or Brooklyn?
Staten Island.
Yes, by far.
So Brooklyn is the battleground, really. Brooklyn is the battleground for this race. And you learn, I think we learn as Republicans here in Brooklyn, it's a tough fight. And, you really get some thick skin, you learn how to battle, and it makes you a much better political warrior to go out there, in this area to fight against the opposition. So call me up. I'll give you my cell phone number. It's a good way. If you got a pen, point blank, you got my number, my email. I'll give you my email too. My email is easy. It's my first name, Liam, Liam, dot, A, my middle initial, dot, my last name, McCabe, MCCABE, @gmail. And my cell phone number is 917-932-4869. And I got some more shirts up here. You guys can have it. I've got some Donovan posters. We've also got, I brought you guys some of this from the Conservative Party. It's for Wendy Long, and then it's got, no shoes.
Yeah.
You guys can have that stuff. And,
We'll be lucky if she gets
thanks
1/3 of the
for
vote.
having me, guys. Like I said, I'm usually over here on that side.
1/3 of the vote is what you want.
Take that.
I'll be with most of them.
Put that on the side of it, in the pocket from that.
So just in closing, before we close out, our next month's meeting, we're going to work on trying to get that mayoral candidate. And
Right next to him, when she had her
terrorist attack
seizure.
in Manhattan. He had
He's gonna be.
place he had to speak with some police organizations.
Remind call, please.
No, we don't want to do that.
How about Hillary for prison?
Remind you, everybody, Liam mentioned these goodies you can come and get a cup or
So we're going to try to have them probably second week of October or October 16th. I think might be a date that we're going to have. Yeah, he's running for mayor. We're going to call this meeting to a close. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out here.
Thank you for coming.
Friends, I'm not